How is it going, everyone? It's Lumity here, and today we're going to be talking about another visual novel, and this visual novel, it's another horror game. We are going to be talking about All of Us Are Dead, a visual novel that I played on the Xbox Series X. This is actually a South Korean visual novel, and it turns out that South Korea is really good at making zombie stuff. I love Train to Busan. That was a fantastic movie. It's one of my favorite movies of all time now. And I played this visual novel, and it's also very, very well written, and I really enjoyed it. And I've been really getting into a lot of South Korean creations recently, but I actually kind of want more zombie stuff from them too, because they do zombies very well, because they know how to focus more on the survivors and the situations and the relationships between the survivors more than anything, and they do such a good job with that. And they're always so good with the conflicts between the humans, and I think that's what you need to make an interesting zombie story. You need really good conflicts and really good relationships between the actual human survivors, and this game provides that. This game starts off before the infection, and it shows you how the infection happens. It shows you every single event that takes place, and you basically are a student that's stuck in a high school, and you're there. You are the person who sees what happens when the infection starts off, and it's crazy. It is crazy. It starts off with a little bit of hope, hoping that, maybe there's a way that they can contain it, but before long, it outbreaks. There's no way to contain it, and it's just you're a character stuck in a room with a few other students and a teacher trying to survive, and you are stuck in basically a broadcasting room. And from there, it just goes on. You have to figure out how to survive. The zombies aren't the only problem, though. There's some students in the school who have taken it upon themselves to basically take advantage of this situation and start hurting not only zombies, but other students as well. So you have zombies, and you also have just some really evil people involved. And you're just, a group of students trying to survive. And it kind of bounces around. You play as one character, and then it will show a perspective of another character that's in a different location. Overall, all the characters really just want to be in the same place. All of the good characters, that is. I guess actually some of the bad characters want to be in that same place too, but it's mainly because they're evil and they're wanting to hurt those people. So, yeah, but overall, the storytelling is fantastic. One thing I really love about this game too is the art. Oh my goodness, the art is beautiful. They did such a great job. Even though some of the scenes are super graphic, this is a very graphic game because it's zombie apocalypse, of course. There's blood and guts everywhere. But the characters and the actual drawing and the skill that whoever drew this had was amazing. It looks phenomenal. The characters are so well drawn, the backgrounds, just everything about this game. It looks phenomenal. And this game actually has voice acting, and the voice acting is very, very good as well. I really like pretty much almost everything about this game. There's a few issues, but for the most part, the majority of this game is just fantastic. All of the characters that you're supposed to like, you're probably going to like. They're very likable characters, and you're really rooting for all of these characters to be able to get out and escape. Now, this game isn't perfect. It has a few flaws, and we can talk about those real quick. Probably the most noticeable flaw, and probably one that I think is pretty much universal, everyone will notice and probably point out, is the fact that there's quite a few misspellings. I'm guessing that's because of the translation. I don't know how they translated it, but there's definitely quite a few spelling mistakes. It doesn't bother me, but it may bother other people. It's pretty easy to make out what they were trying to spell or what they were trying to say. There's just quite a few of those mistakes, though, and it's pretty noticeable, so maybe that could be something that's fixed later on if they re-release this game or something like that, but you will notice some misspellings in this game. Quite a few, actually. Another thing that I'm not a huge fan of is there's a little bit of a cliche that happens sometimes in some of these Survivor-style shows, and it's where the good guys won't hurt a bad guy. I've never been a big fan of that. There's a certain character that's going around and literally, starts killing survivors. I'm not going to say who it is. I'm not going to say who gets killed. I'm not going to give you any big spoilers or anything like that. But the good characters just refuse to do anything about this person. And it's so aggravating because you see this person doing this, and they're like, well, if we stop this person, then we're just as bad as them if we kill them. And it's just like, no, you're not. This person literally killed 2 innocent people. They're a murderer. Like, go ahead and just get rid of them. Toss them out the window if you have to. Get rid of them, do something. It is stupid to leave them with you. So that's something. It's a cliche in a lot of these horror things. It's just kind of like the heroes just make dumb decisions, and they're like, we can't stoop to that level. And I hate that cliche. It makes no sense, and I've never been a fan of it. And that happens more than once in this game, and I do not like that cliche. If someone's bad and they're putting everyone else at risk, you're going to do the smart thing and you're going to get rid of that bad individual. That's just how it is. So I'm not a big fan of that cliche, and that pops up quite a few times in this. I like the way that this game flows. It flows very well, and I like that this has multiple endings. I got the correct ending right off the bat, and if you get the correct ending, you will get the secret ending. And I'm mixed on the secret ending because it kind of threw a wrench in the story a little bit. And I'm not going to spoil anything again. I'm just going to say this. It threw a wrench in it because it starts replaying some of what you've already played, and it's a completely different outcome. And it just kind of made me start wondering. I was just like, okay, so is this the canon ending then? I assume it is. I assume that this secret ending is actually the true ending. But it's just really weird how it kind of just feels like it undid what you just literally, what you were just reading through. So it's really odd how they do that. I feel like they should have just had this ending be one of the endings instead of being a completely different secret chapter where you're actually replaying parts of the game that you already played through. So that was weird. That was kind of weird that they did that. But I do like that they have multiple different endings. I was lucky to get the correct one first, so I could get the secret ending. You do not always get the secret ending, apparently. There's ways to... I saw some other people playing through this, and they did not get the secret ending, which I was... I was actually kind of shocked that there was multiple endings to this game, if I was being honest, because it felt like it was pretty much going the same way no matter what. But no, there's some... If you mess up in the very last chapter, it can take some very dark turns, so be careful how you play this game. But overall, I really do like this game. The storytelling is phenomenal. The music is also really good. Everything about this game is great, except for just a little bit of confusion towards the last chapter. And also the actual, the writing itself in terms of the translation. The translation is definitely an issue. But I still like this game a lot, and I think that if you are a fan of visual novels, and if you are looking for something spooky or something a little bit scary, zombies and all that stuff, if you're a fan of that sort of thing, you're going to like this. I'm not actually a huge zombie fan. I don't really like a whole lot of zombie stuff, but South Korea's just on another level when it comes to the zombie stuff, honestly. So I really like this game. Even as someone who's not a huge zombie fan, I think if South Korea keeps doing zombie stuff, I'm going to keep enjoying it. I'm going to keep, looking forward to it because they do really well with this stuff. So, even though I don't like zombies, I like this visual novel a lot. It's really good, and the characters are just... You're really going to fall in love with these characters. Like, this game almost brought me to tears in a few areas. It didn't quite get me there. There's some visual novels that have gotten me there. This one didn't quite get me there, but it got me close. There's some really good writing here, and I think most people are going to enjoy this. Now, apparently there's also a Netflix TV show for this that I found out about after I beat the game. I don't know if I'm going to watch it or not. I don't really care too much about TV shows, if I'm being honest. But apparently this game was also based off a webtoon, so there's a few other ways to enjoy this story if you're interested in it. But I've played through the visual novel, and I like the visual novel, so I'll probably just stick with what I've done. So thank you so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed this video. Go check out All of Us Are Dead. It's on the Xbox Series X. I believe it's about $20, and I think that's completely fair for this game. It took me a little over 10 hours to play through, and I also did 100% the game, and it's pretty easy to do that once you've completed the game. So definitely you'll probably want to do the 100% just to get everything done, but it's an easy 1,000 out of 1,000 gamer score. It takes a little bit over 10 hours just to complete the story, and it's 100% worth it in my opinion. So thank you so much for watching. I will talk to you in the next video. You have a wonderful day. Bye bye.